Surejo, Editor-in-Chief of Heritage Insights. I'm at the second Asian Science Editors Conference and Workshop in Hanoi, Vietnam, and I'm in conversation with Rachel Lamé, Product Manager at CrossRef. Hi Rachel, thanks for being here and for having this conversation with me.
No problem.
Could you begin by giving me an overview of CrossRef and its products and how they help authors and publishers?
So CrossRef itself was founded in 2000. A group of publishers came together and were trying to solve the problem of the fact that now that they were publishing online, they were finding that whenever they were linking to other articles from their reference lists and from their publications, that actually just a simple URL was breaking over time as content moved and things changed locations and things moved between publishers as well. So they wanted to try to solve that, and the DOI is a really good way of doing that. So providing metadata and being able to link permanently from one publication to another. And the way that works obviously is if the content moves location on the web, then the publisher can come back to us, let us know where it is, and then all of the links will redirect to the content. So it's one place to do that. So that's sort of where we started, and the aim was to provide services to the publishing industry that it didn't make sense for each publisher to implement or provide individually. So things were going fine, and we were getting a lot of uptake of DOIs, and then we report into a board that comes from around 16 of our member publishers, and they said, well, actually, looking at this in the broader range, actually there are other services that hinge on the metadata and the article information that we could also do, and we could do via CrossRef as a kind of neutral body. So in 2006 they came to us with the idea for CrossCheck, so a plagiarism detection service. And what that relies on is having a body of the full text content that comes from all publishers that choose to participate in the service. And that way anyone using it is able to check their articles, their submissions against the full text from lots of other publishers that they might not get to access otherwise. So that was where we started with kind of additional or opt-in services, and it kind of opened up the idea of, I guess, publication ethics and I get providing clarity for researchers. So the next one that we launched after that was Crossmark, which is a logo that publishers can put on HTML or a PDF page, and the researcher can click on that and find out if the article is current, if it's up to date. What I mean by that is one of the things that publishers do that really adds value is they communicate and they update articles if they know that there's a problem with them or if there's supplemental information to be added. So if an article's been corrected, if it's been retracted, they can use Crossmark to communicate that in a consistent way to researchers. And again, that's something that would work across all publishers. FundRef can sit inside Crossmark, and it again is a slightly newer service, but it's a way for publishers to consistently provide funding information. So using a set list of funders to deposit that with CrossRef whenever they're registering a DOI, and then to have that information available at the far end of the process. So that comes from the fact that in a lot of countries there's more pressure on funders and by funders to be able to comprehensively report on the outputs of their funding. So to be able to do that in an industry-wide way, and then to be able to show that at the far end via search engines or other tools is something that's really valuable. And then finally last year we launched a text and data mining service. We don't hold the full text to do that, but within again, it comes back to the metadata, but publishers can give us license information and full text links to their content whenever they're depositing DOIs, and text mining researchers can use that information to go and find the full text across lots of different publishers rather than having to go to each publisher individually and do those transactions.